Hello, and can you tell me your name, please?
Hello, Ralph. My name is Adam Alawakia, and I come from Leicestershire branch.
Okay, Adam, is this your first time at annual conference?
It's my second time. I've been here about 3 years ago.
Yeah. And are you enjoying it so far this week?
I'm loving every moment of it, mate.
Ah, well, that's really good to hear. So, have there been any particular highlights for you so far?
Not specifically. I'm just waiting for the main youth, motions we actually put forward.
Yep.
So nothing specifically. There was certain things regarding the retired members and all that, which was actually interesting to hear, but nothing specifically, not yet.
Oh, right. So it's sort of just generally interested on a sort of consistent level.
That's correct, yes.
Okay, and have you got any advice to young members who are thinking about coming along to annual conference for the first time?
I will tell them, basically, first of all, my main thing is I'm going to encourage them to actually come along, because I've personally, with my personal experience, I have learned so much from this.
Yep.
So yes, I will encourage a lot of people to come in, because it gives you a more basically information and understanding of the union regarding how the union and everything works.
Yep.
So yes, I would encourage them.
Oh, well, that's brilliant, Adam. Well, thank you very much for taking the time to come and speak to us.
Thank you very much.
Hello, can you tell me your name, please?
I'm Simon Saffer. I'm the National Assistant Secretary that looks after our young members.
Is this your first time at conference, Simon?
I'm sorry to tell you, Ralph, that I've been to conference more years than I've had hot dinners, probably. I think this is my 21st conference.
21st conference. So if you'd had a baby in your first conference, they'd still be eligible to be a youth?
They would indeed, and no doubt they'd still be living at home and causing me all sorts of grief.
Have there been any particular highlights for you so far in this year's conference?
I think this conference has been better than the best one we've had for a number of years. The level of debate, the attention of delegates, the number of young people getting into debate, making some very good points, very well received. It's looking good.
And if you were speaking to some young members of the CWU thinking of maybe asking to come to conference the first time, would you encourage them to do so?
Absolutely. The most important thing is to make sure you're active in your branch, that the branch secretary and all the branch officers make sure that you're there, that you get stuck in with the boring but necessary day-to-day stuff, and don't expect to go to conferences as a right. It is something that does have to be earned, but believe me, it's well worth earning.
Well, thanks very much for speaking to us.
Can you tell me your name and where you come from?
My name is Ralph Ferret. I'm from the Plymouth and East Cornwall branch, and I am, at the time of recording, the chair of the Youth Advisory Committee.
So, is this your last conference as YAC chair?
In fact, it's my last few hours as YAC chair, and when conference closes today, I will no longer be a youth according to the rules of the union.
And has this been a good conference to go out on?
I think so, yeah. We've had some good youth props, and there's some good debates, new people and new faces, doing some great new media like this. It's been a success in many ways.
What would you say to any young member watching this thinking, oh, I'd like to go to conference, but I'm not sure? Would you encourage them?
Absolutely. Conferences are one of the most important parts of the CWU's calendar. You need to make sure you speak to your branch and indicate that you want to go, because there'll probably be a democratic process, but do that, work hard, and you might get the opportunity to participate on our biggest democratic forum.
Ralph, thanks very much and best of luck for the future.
Hello, can you tell me your name, please?
My name's Mark,
And what's your branch, Mark?
Birmingham District to Mount.
Now, is this your first time at conference, Mark?
No,
No. How many times have you been?
this is my third time.
Your third time?
Yeah.
So are you enjoying it so far this year?
I am, yeah. I only come down Sunday afternoon, and from then on, yeah, it's been good.
So have there been any particular highlights for you so far?
A couple of demotions I've got involved with. I mean, I haven't actually got up to the rostrum, but I've had my input with the branch and that. So, yeah.
Ah, well, that's good. So you've been engaged in the democratic
Yeah.
process.
Yeah.
So if you're speaking to somebody who's a new member of the CWU, thinking of coming to conference for the first time, would you encourage them to do so?
I would, yeah. It's a fair bit for you to do. I mean, you don't just have to sit in the conference hall. There's a few stalls and that going on.
Yeah. So it's a learning experience then.
Yeah, plenty to learn.
Well, thank you very much for taking the time to come and speak to us, Mark. Really appreciate it.
No problem, thank you.
Can you tell me your name, please?
Gary Bailey,
And what's your branch, Gary?
4th and Dorset Amalgamated.
Okay, is this your first time at annual conference?
This is my 4th time.
Your 4th time? That's quite a good run.
Yes.
So are you enjoying conference so far this year?
It's a lot better than last year, I think, yeah. Yeah, a lot better.
Bit more lively?
Yeah, a lot more sort of, what's the word, more relevant debate this year, I think, than sort of just going on and on and on about the same thing like last year, I think.
Ah, well, that's good to hear. Have there been any particular highlights?
I think personally the pension one was a good one, the youth one.
Yeah.
Because, you know, I'm 26 in July. I've got 40 years still to work, so I mean it is a real big issue that youth members need to get their head around, you know, be encouraged about as well, I think.
Yeah, well, it certainly was a good debate that brought the whole of the union in. Now, as an experienced conference delegate, Gary, if you were talking to young members of the union thinking about coming for the first time, what would you say to them?
Just come and enjoy it. Really, it's a great experience. It does make people progress. It does, there's a lot of experienced people here, the SOC, the NEC, the PEC, the TNFSC, experienced youth delegates as well. Just come and enjoy it. And hopefully you enjoy it enough that you come back again and become branch officials, branch reps, and hopefully national officers at one point.
Absolutely. Well, thank you very much for taking the time to come and talk to us, Gary. Really appreciate it. Hello, can you tell me your name, please?
Scott Haslam.
And what's your branch, Scott?
Leeds number 1 AML.
Is this your first time at conference?
No, second.
And are you enjoying it so far this year, Scott?
Better this year than last year, I would say.
Thought livelier debates?
Yeah, I think last year was certainly just getting a footing in, understanding it all in the big picture. This year I know what's coming, and I'm connecting with the debates, what's going on.
Oh, well, that's good to hear. Have there been any particular highlights for you, things that have interested you so far?
Well, yourself getting up and speaking is always a highlight of my day, I must say. But no, I mean, obviously with developments currently on the government side and potential disputes in terms of privatisation, those sort of debates are really raw, if you like. You know what I mean? Like, we know what's expecting, and it's interesting to see what they're wanting to do.
Yeah, absolutely. So if you were speaking to a young member who's not been to conference, would you advise them to come along?
If they get the opportunity, certainly take it.
Oh, well, thank you very much for that, Scott. I appreciate you taking the time to speak to us.
No problem.
Hello, can you tell me your name, please?
Paul Machette,
Okay, Paul, what's your branch?
Central London.
Okay, is this your first time at conference, Paul?
That's correct, my first time.
And have you enjoyed it so far?
Definitely.
Yeah, it's been a good experience, has it?
Yes.
So have there been any particular highlights so far?
I enjoyed the part, I think it was a postal worker, he had a moving speech.
Yeah.
It was yesterday, the first day. So yeah, I enjoyed that part.
Ah, cool. So, if you had to give some advice
Yep.
to somebody who's a young member of the CWU thinking about maybe coming to a conference, would you encourage them to come along?
Definitely. You get to know your rights, meet different people, other youth members, and yeah.
So all in all, it's been a good time so far.
Definitely.
Well, thank you very much, Paul. Thanks for coming to speak to us.
Thank you.
Hello, can you tell me your name, please?
Hi, I'm Luke Mason, Branch Youth Officer for the Western County Branch.
Okay, Luke, is this your first time at conference?
It is, yeah.
And how are you finding it so far?
Oh, it's been excellent. It's a bit of a shame I'm going today. I'm just here for general conference, but I've had a really good time. All the fringe meetings have been really interesting. Been with the Unite Against Fascism one and the right to Take Industrial Action one. So yeah, it's been really good.
Oh, that sounds like you've had a very interesting time. Have there been any particular highlights from the conference floor for you?
The debate about taking away Mr. Young's honorary membership was quite interesting a minute ago.
Yeah, lively debate, eh?
Very lively debate, yeah. It's interesting. Well, it's great to be in a room with so many people with such a wealth of experience and everyone's so passionate about what they're talking about. It's really good.
Ah, and if there was a young member thinking of coming to conference the first time, would you encourage them to try and come along?
I'd highly recommend it. It's been a really, really great weekend so far, and I wish I could stay all week, to be honest.
Ah, well, maybe next year, eh?
Hopefully. I've spoken to my branch secretary, so fingers crossed.
Well, thank you very much for taking the time to come and speak to us, Luke.
Thank you, Ralph.